About 8 months ago, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was in a big white house and I was upstairs. And I was looking at doing something out of the corner of my left eye. I saw these things going by. And like I said, I was upstairs and I looked and it was like summertime and the windows were open. And I saw three levels of plants kind of like floating by, three different levels, and they were like on an invisible conveyor belt. And in this dream, the plants were different sizes, but they were full root and full bloom of flowers and different plants. They were different sizes. There were small ones with full root, there was bigger ones, and then bigger ones, and then there was large bushes of plants and flowers with humongous big roots just cascading down. And I remember walking to the window thinking, what in the world? And when I did that, it was like a gust of wind came and blew one of the smaller plants, and it hit the side of the house and fell on the floor. And out of my right eye, corner of my eye, I saw a person. And when I looked to see who it was, and I instantly knew when I saw him, it was the gardener. And he was all dressed in white, and he had his hands behind his back in a relaxed state, just kind of walking and watching all the plants being moved. And when that plant hit the side of the house, he started walking towards that, and because it had fallen on the ground. And I asked him, what's going on? And he took the plant and he cast it back up, thrust it back up in the air, and it got back on track and then just started moving. And he looked up at me and he told me that he's getting things in position, that he is positioning things to where they need to be. And then he just put his arms back behind, his hands kind of behind his back, and just kind of started walking off. After he had glanced at me, he walked off watching the plants. And I remember waking up thinking that was a really interesting dream. And what I felt when I was, in prayer about it, I felt like the Lord was showing me that in these last days, we are on the threshold of a mighty move of God. And of course, lately, the last several months, I'm seeing posts of people saying that they're receiving words from the Lord, or they're having visions, that we're on the verge of a mighty move of God. And that it's going to be different than what people think. It's going to come in a different way than people had originally thought that it would, or what it has done in the past. God is doing a new thing, and that's what I keep feeling. That's what I keep hearing. So in this dream, I saw to me, it was like baby Christians and more mature Christians, and then really mature Christians, but they were all root and flower and bloom and all, and they were being positioned, they were being moved, and they were being sent and positioned. And I'm not necessarily meaning that means in the practical sense, but maybe spiritually, I'm not sure, but the Lord I believe is positioning people where they need to be in these last days. And reminded me of a verse in Revelations chapter 22, verse 12. It says, look, I am coming soon, bringing my reward with me to repay all people according to their deeds. We need to make sure that we are not so busy about living our own lives, building our own kingdoms, that we are neglecting what God has called each of us to do, what our positions and what our place is. We need to be busy about our Father's business. And we are on this threshold of a mighty move of God, I believe. And we need to be doing what we can, getting the word of God within us and spending time with God in prayer and giving him something to work with. And I just believe that for those that feel like they've either been stuck, or they've just been like, they just feel like this anticipation of something to come, I want to encourage you that God is moving, and he's moving in people's lives. And we see it, all the time in different people that the Lord is working through, but God has not forgotten you. And God has a plan for you. So you keep being faithful to the Lord. You keep moving forward in him. And he is positioning you where he wants and needs you to be for the work that he has for you to do. So stay grounded, stay rooted in him, and stay faithful, because God has not forgotten you, and he does have a plan for you.